Ladies and gents, welcome back to the Midweek Muster. It's week number 9, Alyona versus Miyamika, a round of 16, and we kick off here on Rocky River. Delhi versus Chinese. It can't help but feel that Alyona got a leg over on Miyamika here, especially with the current meta being around Pro Scouts. Just a really good advantage that China has that was already a big advantage off the old school Barbican Tower Victory conflicts. Let's see what Miyamika can do to get creative here, because I've been impressed. Guys, those who don't know, one of these players qualified for the EGC tournament here in January. And it is not the player that I'm not looking at. No, Miyamika actually slayed his way through the qualifiers to make it in the end. Alyona fell short. Really big surprise as well. Something that pleasantly surprised me is in the previous weeks with Miyamika, I don't want to say criticized, but highlighted that he could do a lot better by diversifying his Civ pool. Basically plays Jeanne D'Arc, Mongols, and Juji whenever he can. He's done that. He's done it in the qualifiers. He's done it today. Miyamika's draft, Delhi, Japanese, Juji, Ayubids. Ayu, definitely not something I've seen him do much of. Delhi, love to see that coming through. A dominant pick when you get it. I think we're starting to see a new addition to Mio. Very talented creative player from the StarCraft community. But whenever we've seen him in AoE 4, it just feels like he's playing more for fun than playing to be on top, if that makes sense. And the reason is in a game like Age of Empires 4, you can't play just free civs, right? Even if you're the best at playing those free civs in the world, you're still going to get counter picks, etc. This diversity definitely deserves praise. Dome of Faith coming in, nothing diverse about that. Although 6 villages is a little bit aggressive. I'm not sure about that. So really, the reason why you can do 6 villages in this type of build is because you're rushing a certain thing. He's rushing Benghazi to block the Pro Scouts play. It might work out because there's a predictable line Alyona should take to the east. But the problem is this isn't going to rush your own Pro Scouts. Doing 6 villages here isn't going to give you an aggressive unlock timing because you start at 3 minutes 52. It takes so long to scale into, right? Because you can't force produce scholars quicker unless you want to pay full price. So, Imperial Academy coming in is pretty much atypical. Elio is close to what he needs. Has got the Imperial Official queued up. This is really important on the timing, right? So I don't even know if you want to have 2 straight away. 1 should be good enough, and then you just come out, pull the taxes, drop them off from the mill, and you'll pretty much be triggering Pro Scouts. So really solid timing. He does need to switch some people over to the wood as well to get that stables. But it's not too bad to like rush the Pro Scout stables and follow up. There you go. So drops off the goodies. And supervisor straight away. Other side of this, we do have more scholars shuffling out. Pro Scouts hasn't even been queued up by Mio. Doesn't care for it. And I think that makes sense. We just talked about how long it's going to take you. It's way too slow of a tech to come through here. Just because we're catching up actually on this live game, we could speed up for a minute or two. Just remembered that. We got stuck watching a Hill and Dale game to see its conclusion, so we were like a minute or two late hopping into this one. I definitely think this is like seeding-wise, this should be one of our closer matchups. Elio might even be the favorable seed. Definitely the favorable seed now that I think about it. Like I said, it comes back to Mio's lack of consistent presence and competitive. He comes and goes, right? Stables opening now coming through as we expected. I love this from Elio. He actually delayed going into the stables and Pro Scouts. He's going for the racks. This is smart. So delayed timing on getting his hands on the deer, yes, but sheep-wise, he still has quite a lot to work with, right? 14 sheep is nice. And, oh, we've got the classic! The Barbican drop in the center of the map. This takes me back. Yeah, so this build wasn't really as necessary anymore for Chinese. And the reason is that with no Tower Victory, although you can go into Zhuge, you don't need to rush into them per se. The Barbican could just be dropped at home. This is insanely aggressive, though. And the reason why this is a winning play for Elio is because Mio went for Dome of Faith. He doesn't have the counter to Zhuge. If you don't have Tower Victory, your archers can't mop up the spearmen quick enough for your guys to engage. This is sick. What's kind of wild is the fact that Mio didn't even really bother with the Ghazi. He actually went archer range in the end. I just misread the building because I'm a muppet. But the bigger problem here is the archers are wasting so much time on the spears. He definitely scouted this, right? Unbelievable. So, I can't believe this. Alyona gets a disgusting Barbican on the center of the map. The game just became substantially harder for Mio. We've already got all the taxmen out, 4 Imperial officials built. Stables being dropped now. This could still be Pro Scouts. I don't think it'll be Pro Scouts in a rush, but it should be coming. The reason is you only have 5 villagers gathering berries, nothing else. And no, the boar is not close enough. He will not be coming home. Looks like he's already sniping out the deer, so yeah. Pro Scouts already there, actually. Just miscued it. So pulling the goodies back. This is really cool. And, I mean, that's actually brutal. Mio hadn't queued up Pro Scouts that entire time. So still 3 minutes to go. It's going to be Archers plus Ghazi. This is so annoying, though. Like, you know, this is one of the most obnoxious landmarks to try and break in Feudal. I've just seen it so many times where people try to brute force it. And the investment on its own to try and get through this kills their game. Not even remotely exaggerative, right? Like, we've literally watched some of the top players clash, and they just lost because they tried to go through this thing instead of around it. Now, you can go around it as Mio, but you can't get your win condition without it, right? You can only get 2 Sacred Sites, and with the way that Rocky Canyon or Rocky River have spawns, realistically, you're only getting 1 of those Sacred Sites. The other one is far too close to Elio's base, far too far away from yours. Only upside maybe for Mio is these spawns are more central. Sometimes you get more staggered spawns to the corners, which would favor a defending player on that Sacred Site. But Zhug now coming in. Mio now has the very big predicament, because if Alyona just goes Spears plus Zhugenu, he should just roll over this entire map. I think for Mio, he should be looking for a tech out point. The tricky part is because he didn't rush Pro Scouts, I mean, he's got 18 sheep, right? He shouldn't be dead trying to rush Castle. But usually you want to have a berry follow-up that's nice. The problem is, rushing Castle here against the Zhugenu all in, you won't have any map control. Alright, 1's if you think Elio's going to win this, 2's if you think Mio Micah's going to take it. Elio's showing up with these horsemen. No undermesh there. But Mio, he actually prioed undermesh himself, so Steel Arrow only just came through. Good clash for him at least, but... And this is Alyona kind of setting the pace while the Ghazi are going to feel quite worthless with the Zhug numbers bloating like this. Interesting choice to go a Horseman Zhug, though. I mean, you can afford it over time, right? But by going Spears, you would allow yourself to bloat a lot more Zhug a lot earlier. The question now is whether Mio reads this for what it is and switches racks. It just feels so bad to build racks into Zhug. Mio looking like he might be contemplating the next stage. 1 Sacred Site isn't grand, but it is at least gold gen to get you to the next stage efficiently. Ghazi marching in. Oh, I'm going to find the Zhugenu. This is actually a pretty decent fight for me and Micah to be engaging with. Getting a little bit bad now that he's diving the TC and Spearmen are now arriving. But if the goal was to go Castle Age, this may have just given him the space he needs. Next step should be moving out for relics. Mio's already shuffling to the north side. Should have a Scholar coming out to the west soon. This should be an easy peasy 2-relic grab. Just hope he's aware that he hasn't moved that Scholar out in the west yet. Kind of a big deal. I mean, there's actually realistically 3 relics he could grab here. I think after that play, Elyona's a little bit paranoid about the cap coming in here. It's like your players actually play west instead. No, instead. Me and Micah will tech up, he just won't have that efficiency to the play. Castle learning. I mean, the upside of like not bringing that many scholars out is, of course, you are going to have quick tech unlocks, but I think the relics are far too important here. Especially when you know Alyona is going to be your shadow in this game. We can see he's getting ready for attack as well. I'm not liking the look of this for Mio. I mean, he got out of age 2 before the Zhugenu killed him. But now in return, Alyona, he can just blob, go fast castle, rush relics himself. And the difference is he's going to have all this food to work with. Pro Scouts has at least come in now for Mio Micah. I just don't think he's actually using the scout for it. So how could Mio approach this different at an earlier point? I think the biggest takeaway was Ghazi opening just feels too good not to do. Right, opening archery range was kind of curious. Maybe he was always paranoid about that Barbican drop, but if that's the case, you play Tower of Victory instead, right? Then again, you know, I do think that Delhi have been pretty hard discounted in this matchup recently. China have just been looking better and better as the weeks go on, including in this particular clash. Really all comes down to the Pro Scouts. So, tech out complete. Lancers are getting queued. Alyona can mirror that. He can actually exceed it because of the supervision. Instead, he's going Horseman, what, crossbows? This has to be Horseman crossbows. Like, you wouldn't want to do Horseman Juke into Castlage units, right? Because there's a pretty high probability that, I'd say it's 75% plus that your opponent's building armored units. Whether it's Lancers, Men-at-Arms, or War Elephants. Love the fact that Alyona's already going into the monastery. Even has the supervision, so pumping these bad boys out every 12 seconds. Perfect time in the game as well, considering that me and Micah slipped on his timing. He's got one relic and only one. I always feel like I'm being negative towards me and Micah because I keep looking for something that's a positive for him in this game. And every single element that should theoretically be good for him gets seemingly taken away within a minute of us thinking about it. Yeah, this is a 4-relic grab for Alyona. Lancers are at least going to square up. Veteran Sifa Shiginu has come in. Hasn't got the Steel Arrow 2 though, isn't supervising for it. The Undermesh is good enough to keep these Lancers chunky. Yeah, and this is a critical mistake. Alyona, so busy supervising elsewhere, didn't have that supervision tech coming in. It would have doubled the damage on these heavily armored units. Also away with the deer as well. Oh dear, oh dear. Second line is at least prepping, and this one is going to have Pulse Guard in it. Crossbows finally getting queued as well. Horseman also now arrived. Remember, he vetted into them, so some intent to play them long, but I mean, it kind of feels like a wasted investment that you stopped at such a small count. Pulse Guard at least absorbing a lot of shots. Steel Arrow 2 is about to come through here. And also an overextension. Me and Micah didn't move forward with the Lances. So he's trading out up against the Juke, but Archers will always lose that fight. Yeah, he needs to just move to that back line. Crossbows now being targeted also. The problem is, it's not enough for me and Micah to win this fight. He needs to find kills afterwards. He has got more relics on the way home. A second one being picked. Alyona right now, the biggest threat to Mio is how big Elio's economy is already getting. So Mio, he needs to find a way of throttling this, but it's getting difficult as the numbers are slowly dwindling on the push. Lancers coming in clutch from Alyona to stabilize just outside of his base, while behind this, the granaries are being set up. Yeah, and you know, for Mio, he's probably somewhat content with the idea of keeping his opponent in his base. And would have loved this play if it wasn't for the fact that the relic split already favors Alyona. He's got a second one on the way home, mirroring you, and then the third should be his for the grabbing, as me and Micah is now harshly discovering. Oh, man. I mean, it might not be a Borvigan play, but it actually hit a key objective here. You know, now just blowing raw Lancers. Now, his Lancers should be pretty good at trading into this, right? Wait, no, wait, did he not? Oh, no! You forgot about the House of Learning? And the wall! Gives over a Lancer. Double whammy, a catastrophe discovered for me and Mike in the last 20 seconds. I mean, he won't realize that first detail, though. House of Learning has been built to be pretty much a modern-day library. Visited by no one but literally dead skeleton people. Finally, me and Micah is going to put it on blast, but what a waste. Hone Blades could have been there for that engagement. Would have made a huge difference to the Lancers. Ay, ay, ay. And considering you're kind of the timing sieve in this matchup now, like missing out on that timing around your Lancers is opening the doors for Alyona. Farm transition isn't going to get punished. Crossbows are massing. He has better economy. So you have more relics. Mio needs to find some serious damage. Dive coming in. It's a good start, finding some villages. Problem is, Alyona, the crossbows are so spread out that Miyamaika can't just cut them down. So dives in, does find a few worker kills, shrinks the gap now. Only 5 eco lead for Alyona. One problem for Miyamaika is going to be food. Yeah, he's playing dangerous with his economy right now. And he gets found! Elyo munching for days here. Miyamaika, after a great dive there, finds the damage returned. This looks over. Miyamaika, that raid gave him some hope, but this counter raid puts him back in his place underneath Elyona's boot. Problem is, he doesn't really have anything to stop it as the chase continues. What a great find. And now the ripple effect. He knows if he's out in a pocket eco there, he might be elsewhere as well. Alyona continues to dive forward. Elephant will stop him temporarily in his tracks here. Or will it? Wait, Mio? That is not how you fight with Tower Elephant, son. Elephanto buys a little bit of time, but dies far too quick here. And this is snowballing. I mean, you can tell who's ahead by just the queue alone. Military might be neck and neck, but even with the scholars not in there, the production behind this tells the full tale. GG gets cooled. China continues to be the bane of Delhi's existence. That's right, guys. If you've got problems with elephants, just hire the Chinese. But don't worry, folks. Under the first game, Mio's still got some sick picks. Let's see if he can draw it back. Game number 2, and in the shadows waits the French's nightmare. Camels. Hate them. Look at them, touch them, smell of them, don't want them. Let's have to deal with them here. Miyamaika's gone Ayyubids up against French, a matchup that could easily get us into a game number 3. Yeah, Camel's definitely a sore sight for a French player, right? French Knights in the Desert Raiders is a quick way of just getting your ass handed to you. And if Miyamaika goes for the Dervish Wing build, things are going to get even worse for Elyo. So keep an eye out for that. Definitely potential to get us to a 3rd game in this series. But can't fault Alyona. Really solid opening. He got a great matchup in game 1, but Miyamaika has now returned the favor. And what scares me is if we go to a map 3, Miyamaika has a pretty solid pick in Juji for Hallowed Spring that could work against either Rus or even Malians. But we are jumping the gun. We have to see if we can get there. This is definitely a comfort pick for Alyona. You know, game 1, it was looking like it should be more Kushki for the Delhi, but actually I'd say Alyona probably has more experience than Chinese there. But this one, like, there's no doubt about it. Alyona has definitely played more games of French than Miyamaika has ever even seen of Ayyubids. Take up already in the way. And, ooh, what? Okay, that's a pretty old school build. And yeah, let me get predictions up here. So game 1, of course, went to Elyo. I'm a little bit surprised by this, actually. Game 2, you got a matchup against French and you don't go Dervish. I mean, the Desert Raiders are 3 units, right? But what this tells us is Miyamaika is just trying to fast castle, which is surprising because I feel like Dervish into some Desert Raiders can do just as well here. Like, playing a bit of a longer feudal isn't the big punishment you'd think, especially if it allows you to block your opponent's gold. Camels actually smell bad. Sounds like you just haven't washed your camel well enough. You know? Maybe spray some Lynx deodorant on that bad boy? Or like, wait, it's not called Lynx in America, is it? I don't know what's called in America. Okay, so Sheephole looking pretty damn good for Mio. Alyona in a bit of trouble there. Only 10 to 18 sheep. Now, of course, Ayyubids were on the berries to begin with, but this is still a big advantage. Yeah, I think we're looking at either logistics or advancement wing here. Because Miyamaika has gathered all the way through the berries. You wouldn't do this if you were doing growth wing. Man, blast from the past. I don't remember the last time I saw Desert Raider into Advancement Wing. That is a super classic build. We do have the Pro Scouts coming the other side, so Alyona have plenty of food to work with. Mio clearly intending to just come over the top. Our French will solve this. Fast Castle Crossbow Knights. Arbitrary are pretty good as an answer. They actually solve for practically anything Ayyubids will do in Castle Age. It's all about timings though, right? Like, Mio should have the ability to flood troops much more aggressively than Elyo will. If Elyo can survive, then yeah, he'll be favored. But there's definitely a window where the Ayyubids can just ruin you. Gamba? Oh, okay, sorry, I thought it was Gamba Wing. It wasn't about the predictions earlier. So actually, Alyona still getting favorability from the community there. Oh, that did shock me a bit, actually. I mean, it's not even a little bit of favorability. It's quite a lot. 26.8k points to 14.4. I guess maybe people just don't believe in fast castle as much for Ayu anymore. There's a few matchups where it's still pretty damn strong, though. I think this is one of them where it can be pretty nice. Oh, yeah, of course, does have Sultanate. He's coming with the Pro Scouts already complete, so good he's coming home. Neo. Wait, we're actually investing. All right, he clearly knows something I don't. There must be a resurgence of Desert Raider feudal build. Yeah, he's... Oh, my God. He's just raw... He's raw Desert Raidering, but, like, I'm a bit flabbergasted by this because the Growth Wing gives you a bit more variability. The maths does support the idea, though, right? Because every 2 minutes, you can have a Desert Raider for free, which is 180 resources. Or you could have 3 villagers gathering per minute 120, which gets you more. It gets you 240. But it clogs up your production rates because they take so long to produce. So, like... I kind of get where me and Mike is coming from here, but by going for this Desert Raider build, he has to attack really quickly. You can't be slow about this at all. I mean, you already can't because it's French. I think that's what's surprising me so much about this choice is... And maybe it's like Jean, I could see the logic of it. Possibly, even then it feels weird. Like maybe a Roost player building the Roost Knights, right? But with French just casually building an eco lead, this feels very difficult to pull off. Yeah, Mio's timing was off there, right? Like, he clearly intended to take that fight at 3 Desert Raiders to 2 Knights. The count just didn't come in quick enough. Oh, yeah, just a very clean opening. And now the Spear follow-up. Me and Mike are now also going Horseman. Okay, me and Mike is playing this game blind, and you can tell it without even checking his vision. I think we're getting a 2-0 here. Although I picked this up as a tight series, one where actually I'd say, based on recent performances, me and Micah would be favored. The build he's gone for is pretty much a please kill me fast build. Because he's playing as if he's up against Archer Knights. Like, he's essentially opened this how it would open for both civs literally a year ago. As we know, meta's changed. And the one that me and Mike has prepped himself for is a very old meta. This can still work for him if he goes and raids elsewhere, but the problem now is he needs to build outposts to do that due to the Knights. I feel like Ayyubid is probably top 5 most gold-dependent civs. Fairly heavily, right? Whether you go Feudal or Castle Age, if you think about what you want to build in either as Ayyubids, the beneficial choices are all gold-oriented, right? So in Feudal Age, like Desert Raiders, it's 50 gold each. If you're going to play a long Feudal, you should be using Desert Raiders in some meaningful way. If you go Castle Age, you're looking at Camel Lancers, which is very pricey on gold, or you're looking at Ghoulems, which is gold-oriented. Even the idea of like Archers meta has shifted away. Ayyubids will even consider crossbows now because they're so damn good. So yeah, it's all gold. Oh yeah, the best thing you can do is just not force the fight. The longer he waits, the worse it gets for Mio. What Mio is pretty much doing is playing a team game build. The idea being if you blob Desert Raiders high enough, you can kill anything. Right? Even Knights, you just tickle away at them as they try and charge in. But that does require, what, 25 Desert Raiders to feel really good? Elio will need to add in Archers for sure. I don't like that he's only sticking Spears and Knights because, like, you are giving an opening here. Now, although your opponent's building Horsemen, you think Archers is dumb here. They're the most efficient way of dealing with Desert Raiders. I don't know, this is getting kind of scary, actually. Cost of doing business with Pro Scouts, right? Almost gives you a false sense of security. I mean, the tough part for Mio is still going to be a dive point, but you got to remember, he gets one unique thing that might explain why he chose Reinforcement Wing. These Desert Raiders, these Horsemen, are capable of building siege. So, if Alyona ever just hunkers down and hides in his base, me and Micah can suddenly just start building rams. Chivalry's at least on the way. So this is now the window where Mio needs to take convincing fights. It's not enough to poke and trade each way. If you do that, then Elyo will just heal out over the long con, right? But with 14, soon to be 16 Desert Raiders, we should be at the point where kills are going to happen. Backstab attempt coming in from Elyo. Mio does see it early enough, though. Trying to back away. Desert Raiders taking a pretty heavy hit there. So Mio has a number in his head. A number that is good enough, right? Too good to resist. It's like when someone tries to buy your business, they put down a piece of paper. I don't know how many zeros have to be on this Desert Raider count, but he does. I imagine the number is probably 28 Desert Raiders is his go point. And waiting a little bit isn't bad, right? Like, yes, Elyona's building a slight villager lead, but the trade-off is it means he's got more villagers that won't be safe when you dive. Okay, what would be kind of more vile is if Mio finds a way of teching and just getting Desert Raiders upgraded. But, like, if you do that, you are going to let Elyona go Royal Institute. And I think, like, this is the type of game where, weirdly enough, you go Royal Institute. Yes, Desert Raiders counter you, but the logic is that Royal Bloodline's health pool makes you fat enough to not care. Mio's turned this into a micro game. Look at what he's doing. He split 3 different groups of Cav. He wants to test Elyona's micro here. Elyo needs to be careful as well, because a slight overextension like this could cost you dearly. However, the Stealth Forest might work in your favor. What? He engages with the Knights? I'm shocked a little there. That makes sense if the Spears are charging in as well, but Mio Micah is just going to chase it down. It's not a quick kill, right? But over time, if you can find it, Elyona in the meantime is going to find an A-job. Royal Institute now on the way. Spearman will turn around, but melee mode activated here. Mio able to bait them deeper. That's smart because now they can't get out of range of the ranged. Elyo, wait, okay, thank God. I thought that was the building. That's just an outpost. The Royal Institute's being built on the back. Mio Micah doesn't have a dive target yet. Melee mode does get activated though, and it's going to be a dive in the defensive buildings. Needs these outposts gone ASAP. Elyona needs gold ASAP. He may have a tech up coming, but he actually doesn't have anything in reserve to buy with. Tech up complete. Mio Micah. There's the Rams we talked about. Needs to be fast about this. Elyona will not be able to afford Royal Bloodlines, but he can at least get his veterancy in. Mio has not gone for a tech himself. This is all in. We talked about that golden number. We're approaching it, right? 26 Desert Raiders now. Mio seeking that game number 3. Movement in. Some villagers to be sniped here. Ram's going to be able to clear the way on the outpost. So Elyona is without gold and building a horrible unit into Desert Raiders. He's going men-at-arms. This is catastrophic. Remember, they have 5 melee armor. They do not care. They hit as hard as Castlage men-at-arms with a 13 base damage. Yeah, no, this is not how you get back in this game as Elyo. What he really needed here was, like, archers. He got baited by the Horseman revelation, though. This is vile, man. Mio Micah. I think we've got ourselves a game number 3 from him. Really solid control right now. However, Mio knows about this back goal, but he hasn't gone for it. So that might prove to be a problem here. That being said, Mio looks like he's getting ready to go for his own tech up. Growth Wing could make a lot of sense here. It actually would completely give you the lead on villagers. Desert Raider Clash coming in. I don't even know why Elyona thinks he can take this fight. It's just way too many camels, and they're even surrounded now! No escape. Knights have to stand their ground in the engagement. And the Spears are at least getting some good picks here. But the numbers tell no lie. Desert Raiders just able to dominate the engagement. Yeah, several of them go down, but who cares when your army is already so big? Oh yeah, we'll at least be able to mop up the Ram. I do think that Mio Micah has made a bit of a slip up here, not blocking that back gold though. And clearly he intends for his own tech up. Veterancy on these Desert Raiders is going to go a long way. And this should just be growth. Logistics could make sense as well. Oh, no, he's taking it the full way. This is a team build Ayyubid. This is exactly what you do in team games, guys. You go Desert Raider, just keep pumping Desert Raiders after you get that wing. And then you go for Adabegs. The alternative is you do Adabegs into Desert Raiders. This is almost exclusively a team build for Ayyubids. And Miyamaika, when facing elimination, has turned to 3v3 and 4v4 tactics here. Oh my god. This is crazy. Wolves coming up the flanks, but here's the funny thing about Desert Raiders as a raiding unit compared to Horse Archers. You know, this stops Horse Archers. These things stop Horse Archers. It doesn't stop Desert Raiders because they can torch. Neo's going to be backing up temporarily. Elyo has survived the onslaught. He does have Mass Knights coming, but it's going to be into Mass Desert Raiders. Oh my god. And Mio can make this even easier to survive. Like, he hasn't even got the melee techs yet. I imagine that'll be coming in soon. This can work, right? Oh no, this definitely can work. Because Elyono is basically doing the same thing, just into a counter unit. He's building a one-dimensional comp. It's just knights. He's doing classic French, which is me build knights, me smush. You don't smush very well into Desert Raiders that are going to have... I think it ends up being 6 melee armor base. 155 HP. I mean, in fairness, Elyono will have Royal Bloodlines. It's already in. I don't believe I saw Cantled Saddles taken. No, that's Cardinal Sin. I hate how often players forget that tech. Cantled Saddles is crucial here. Desert Raiders. Whoa, bit Miss Micro there. Miss Micro... Wait, Miss Mio Micro? I mean, he shouldn't have used them all in the melee. Adabeg's also coming out here. Need to be careful not to use them as military units. Men at Arms following this up, but the first wave of Knights just got cleaned up. I mean, if you are taking a 1-for-1 exchange there as Desert Raiders, you're happy. You're an age behind still. Camelots is now queued up. Veterans is coming in for the Desert Raiders. The Adabegs are already on their way, perfectly timed before the first units should start coming out. My oh Mio Micah. Does need to get that final one up there, but remember, that is going to be a healthy 20% increase on HP. I mentioned these Desert Raiders when upgraded up to about 155. This puts them at about 170-ish. So I think they go to 145, and then that takes them to about 170. You'll see in a second. So, funnily enough, what me and Mike had done with this build is he answered Royal Bloodlines. So 145. Yep, you remember that maths. And then remember the extra units coming out, 174. This is Ayyubid's Royal Bloodlines. Because when you think about the Camelonese, which negates 20% damage, and you think about the better melee armor, it makes this fight really competitive. Even more so when you add in the better attack speed than what French Knights have. Oh my god. What a wacky build from Mio. It's like they're both thinking about relics at the same time. Oh yeah, wrapping around to a position that would be hard to retreat from without sacrificing those men-at-arms. Mio needs to start pushing across the map soon. Melee mode, love the micro. Not all of them, only a small group. One by one. This is optimal, right? Because now you've got these melee French Knights just scrambling around the sides. While you just double down. You've got frontline melee, backline ranged. Elyo, can he clean up here? He's actually microing away all the injured Knights one by one. Nah, it hasn't worked. Elyona's got control now. I can't believe that. He outplayed him! One by one. Range 2 upgrade really making a difference here against the 11 bow damage. Oh my Gideon. Me and Mike are down to just 10 Desert Raiders. Elyona in retreat. 14 in total on these Knights. Half of them almost dead. That was sick. And Relics also now being picked up by Elyona. Dominant command of that fight. Great micro. And potential now for an arbitrary switch that would just be the chef's kiss on top. Cantled saddles still hasn't been taken. Okay, no, there we go. It was. Just didn't catch it. So that was the other detail that mattered there, right? Without cantled saddles, that should have been a good fight for Mio. Oi, now this retreat. Realizing just how many knights are still alive. A perfect position from Alyona, stationing on the double gold. Lunchtime in the Great City of Chicago? Yeah, when are you sending me some pizza? I hear you guys basically have pies there. I don't think I've ever tried a Chicago deep pan. Which, to my understanding, is basically soggy dough, right? This is where the real kicks is just going to leave and never come back. You never insult a Chicagoan's pizza. The Windy City will blow down a storm upon you if you ever do that. A good one won't be soggy dough. Got it. Isn't it like an eternal war between New Yorkers and Chicagoers about their pizzas? In fairness, New Yorkers usually think they have the best of every single food, though. Arbitrary now coming. I mean, this is looking better and better for Alyona the longer this goes now. Tries to go after the Atabeg's garrison stables. Gotta be careful, these men-at-arms might actually kill you. Goes in for the charge, counter saddles activates. Then the mode gets activated in response by Mio. It's just once again happening. I'm getting deja vu. Yeah, good fight. Oh man, Alyona is just vibing. He does lose a few too many knights that time, I think, but once again, it's just the reduction in health pool collectively. Mio actually needs dervishes just to heal. Alyona just needs to slow down, lob the arbitrary account at home, right? Just don't overextend with them. He's going to retreat towards the gold. He might have to make a stand here. Good news is the lances are broken off, so arbitrary get the opening fire that's favorable. Nah, this is a dance. This is a vibe right now. Elio getting the majority of relics. It's actually going to be a 4-to-1 relic game. A nightmare for any Ayyubid player. New York and Chicago constantly argue who has the best pizza while the world knows it's Naples. Damn, son. Alright, best pizza I've ever had is actually in Ukraine. No cap. Best pizza I've ever had was 4 cheeses pizza. I think it's 4 cheeses. With pear and walnut on top. And it was godly. From a place called, funnily enough, for a place like Ukraine, Mafia Pizza. Incredible. Nice, just trying to get some raids in. I love this from Alyona. Still looking for that kill threat. Just trying to guarantee that Miyamika isn't doing anything greedy like a TC drop. Funnily enough, it looks like Miyamika is maybe going for a keep drop. We have 1,000 stone just sitting there. Isn't this a tough matchup for French? Yes. We didn't have this in the other game. This should have been good for Ayu. Alyona, I think he just outplayed him. I mentioned like it comes down to how you micro the fights. And I can't fault him. Alyona's been clean. This might cause him death though. Bringing the arbitrary up means you can't retreat. Desert Raiders are sniping them down right now. Oh my god. Elyo, this is a complete misread on the engagement. This was not the time, nor the place. Keep drop is going to be successful. Alyona is going to lose the forward army. The arbitrary are going to get bopped up. And he goes more ambitious. Mio immediately counters the keep. Cancels the keep, rather. Goes for the big stack drop that would block Alyona out of the late game. He has no gold access. I can't believe that. Alyona, all he had to do was be patient, hunker down, play a bit more defensive, maybe orientate on stone instead. But this overextension, the difference in these fights is every single time before this, he was able to peel knights away to heal. When you bring up 20 arbitrary, there's no running away because you will leave them and abandon them. And now it's time to abandon ship on game 2. Because Miyamika, with this many Desert Raiders ahead, should just be able to dive everywhere. Food gathering on the north, but farm transition not really complete. And gold now starved away from the French. And he has at least got the passive gold trickle. Arbitrary might be his weapon of choice. But Mio could actually just realistically switch into Horseman here. That was crazy. Such a sick read from Mio as well. A lot of players would have just completed that keep, being so close to it, maybe gathered the stone for a secondary, but if he'd done that, Elyona would have had a rebuttal. He would have had gold gathering to get more units out. Now, like what you've got, because you're not getting more. Now, Mio does have a food issue. He's got some farms padded in, so that's going to give him a little bit of present still. But he needs more. I do not know why there is... That's not a misclick. What? Why is Mio adding in traders for 8 gold each way? What? Wait, I think this was when he was setting up the keep. He was going to trade over here, which would have made more sense. This doesn't make any sense. That is one of the worst trade routes I've seen someone eagerly lean into. First time someone trades on Borderland? No. We've seen it before, but usually it's map length. We saw it a decent amount in the 2v2s, actually. Knights are filing forth again, so Elyona not done looking for entry points. He needs to as well, because after all that work, the worker lead is gone. It's 80 to 83. Peach pizza? I've never tried a peach pizza, no. I was really surprised by the pear and walnuts. I definitely recommend trying pear and walnut if you haven't. The taste profiles very, very much complement each other well. You got that, like, the sharpness in both of them, right? So you got like the sharpness of pear and you got the sharpness of walnut, and then you've got the sweetness of the pear that bridges them. It's bloody impressive. Well, Elyona, folks, might not actually be dead on this. By some miracle, he's staying alive. Keep drop now coming to the south side to secure wood. We've got Mass Arbitrier. Now, Mass Arbitrier will be the answer into Desert Raiders. Even when they were in melee, remember, with the Gambesons. Bulldogs coming in. That is going to stop a dive on the farms, but Elio needs to get the army home fast. Oh my god, what a game. I mean, I was worried we were very close to just a 2-0 stomp, but this is taking quite the turn. Even if it ends up being a 2-0, this has been a crazy game too. Camel sandwich coming in. Om nom nom. Nice body blocks. Might be able to pinch him in the center. So the reason why Miam is trying to do this is right now he's having to look back at home because he can't wall this map. But once all the knights are gone, he doesn't need to worry about his base anymore. People arguing fruit on pizza is wrong, get tomatoeless pizza. Well, hasn't this been a like back and forth argument constantly over the years on whether tomato is a fruit or a vegetable? Right? I always see this like one get argued when it comes up. Because it gets classified as a vegetable a lot, but it grows on... what is the condition for fruits? I remember going over this. It's like if something grows from like a stalk, right? If that makes sense. Whereas vegetables typically are root-based, is the logic. Yeah, like I agree. Like objectively, it's a fruit, but subjectively, it's a vegetable, right? Like okay, think about things you wake up in the morning and they just pick up off the counter and sink your teeth into. Apple, banana, pear, tomato. Oh, apples and oranges difference here, and apparently apples are winning. Miyamika says, how do you like these apples? Elyona, there's no running away from this anymore. This many camels show up in your base. You migrate to the Middle East and never come back. The Mujahideen have arrived. There is no stopping them. We are going to be seeing a game number 3. Elio's going to get found on his farms just south of here, at which point it's curtains closed. He has that keep drop, but it's on the far west side. It doesn't do anything. Mio, with a team build in a 1v1 tournament series, has shown just how serious he is. Yeah, so just to round out, I'm going to say it again for the recording because, like, damn, I just hit the bong on that one. So when you realize that fruits and vegetables are more culturally identified than, like, objectively identified, that's when you realize that many things in your life are simply categorized by the people around you, not necessarily by any true factual dictation. And then I need to make, like, a wait, let me just hit the bong. That wasn't a bong, that was me actually blowing bubbles in water in a bottle, which isn't a good idea. All right. So, Yona versus Miyamaika. It comes down to Hallowed Spring, which I like to call Himeyama 3.0. 2 sacred sites right close to the coast. 8 fishing in total in a 1v1. Miyamaika has got the Zhuji. This is a solid pick. I really like Zhuji on this map. I think they're actually really solid across the board. It's a comfort pick for Miao Miao as well. This is like his #1 civ for trying to reach the top of the ladder time and time again. And funnily enough, Crackety arrives at the perfect time for a Zhuji game. Roos on the other side is pretty solid here as well. We've seen Roos a desirable pick for a few different players. I don't know how I feel about Roos into Zhuji though. Zhuji just fast cast a lot more aggressive than you. They can also pro scouts more aggressively than you, right? Because they unlock it so quickly. And if they get a reasonable meditation garden, you're in trouble. In fact, if he sees this one, that's going to be nuts. 72 food and probably about 20 wood would definitely be worth it. Likely, me and Mike is just going to settle for the starting one. The reason why a lot of players actually quite like getting stone on their meditation garden now is with the fast castle build into relic grabbing, by the time you're done with that strategy, you're probably at about 250 to 300 stone, which means going a second TC is very, very easy. And no, the stone in the middle cannot be mined. You can look at it, you can admire it. It does look like a pretty trophy. If you get your screen up really close right now, you could probably even lick it. But your villagers will not get a lick of it. You can't touch it. It's, as you can see by the outlining, out of bounds. Your monitor tastes gross. Look, I don't want to know what you do in the dark. But yeah, Nedi Garden should be coming in a sec. Yono's obviously going to be in Golden Gate. Did he go? Yeah, he went double cabin opening. Yeah, I find the cabins on this map, at least one of them ends up being really, really good. Right? Like this one here is slightly embedded. And also it sets up nicely for the high trade house down the line because you typically on the back get this fatter wood line. Like for example, this side, high trade house here is just a brain dead obvious choice, right? No fishing, but that's to be expected. And apparently, this isn't just a brain-dead choice for a high trade house. We actually have the meditation garden completely ignoring food here. But in return, what do you reckon, chat? I'm going to say about 35 wood there, 25 gold. So it's an okay medi garden, definitely nothing special. No predictions? Ah, yes, let's get those predictions online. So there you go. Game 3. I'll give you guys 2 minutes. I'm feeling generous. You can medi-guard in the middle stone? No. If you could build them on water, sure, but no. There's 4 stone there, by the way. So that's how we get a fast 2 TC build. Yo, what's up, Khan OP? Thank you very much for the Prime sub, mate. Welcome to Swarm. What do you reckon, guys? Can we get a sub-train going to honor Miyamaika and Elyona's eternal battle? A game 3 that shouldn't have happened. In fact, let me just mark it up on the scoreboard there because I've got to. Mio took us somewhere special. See if we can do it again the 3rd. So, Medi-Garden. Ooh. That's more than 35. That's 50 wood, right? About 50 wood, 25 gold is pretty solid. Probably going to end up being 45, actually. I mean, I'm impressed. What is Mio going to do with this, though? This feels like it must be a feudal push. 48 wood and 25 gold feels oriented towards Yugenewing. First scout's coming on the other side. I mean, I could see a world in which, like, Zhuge all-in could work down the center here. Just feels very difficult to dive the primary, right? But if your opponent's going to go fast castle, mass Zhuge is a counter. And yeah, there we go. Archery Rangers on the back. Okay, this is kind of sick from him. He does it just at range. The scouts. Elyono should have alarm bells going off right now. He's scouted his opponent's base. No, he forgot to scout here. He should be asking the question, why did he set up on the wood line? It doesn't make sense for anything other than a feudal inn. And the problem is... Oh, wait, Mio. What? Okay, the problem is now on Mio's side. Why did he reveal the juke? I don't think there's any reason to do this but a fake out. Because your opponent's going to walk away with pro scouts, right? There's no way he's going to hang in your base. So if you just wait until he's tired of hitting the mining camp, which he will be in like 20 seconds, then the play doesn't get revealed. For this to be an all-in from Miyamika, I'm kind of shocked that he even revealed the intent at all. Because he could have been over towards the enemy base before he even knew. Instead now, Elyono should have ample time to start prepping knights. Moving across on the tree line, 13 woodworkers right now. So probably looking at knights plus archery range. So Elyono's going to be dropping 1 stables, then double archery range. Mio's going to be ramping more duke. We've got blacksmith timing on point here for the steeled arrow. That's going to give him a window. Elyono needs to actually prep blacksmiths alongside this ASAP. Juji's timing is so much more disgustingly good than China's for this play. If you wait around like you would for a Chinese player, you're going to die. In fact, Mio might even open up with a ram. Have you hit the backside? Yeah. The tricky thing in this play... Okay, we actually have horsemen. That's kind of sick. The problem is, without blacksmith, the trickiness of this play is like you still get shut down by bolts. And steeled arrow has been queued up. Okay, this is sick. So, he can kind of constrict the map here, block the deer gathering. Very difficult to block all points of access, though. And you can't let your opponent get too many horsemen, too many deer home with this strategy. If he does, the mass horseman will beat you with archers to assist. He's actually started to hit the golden gate. All right, it's going to take a while to siege, folks. I wish we had more of a fast forward. But obviously, we're live as you can get. Oh my god, dude, I think he just broke him. I'm looking at this and wondering, like, how can you actually get an army together quick enough? Well, he has got the blacksmiths coming now. Neo just needs to build a crap ton of juke. If he preps Spimmin behind this, like, I struggle to see Elyono's breakpoint. The good news for Elyo right now is Miyamika is one-dimensional as May's Civ diversity. Like, it's literally just one thing coming out. Well, horsemen are cutting reinforcements. That's a good start for Elyo. Yeah, like, why no forward racks if you want to make this play? Why no racks at all? This is ludicrous. We have got the ram timing now. This is an all-in. I don't think it works. I hate to be the burdener of bad news, but I'm pretty sure this is not enough you can do to end a game of AoE 4. Undermesh also being prepped. Elyono just showing the adequate patience here. Rams being added in by Mio. I'm struggling, man. Like, no, this isn't enough juke to hold this position. Mio, no. After that game too, not like this. Look at this. And that is game. All Elyono needs to do now is a feudal all-in. He's got the food to keep the horsemen going. And the pro scouts is going to guarantee he always has the food. More horsemen and more knights coming. If this had been double archery range racks, maybe I could see the fort. But just Shugen Nu? What a flop of a game for Elyono makes it look too easy. He will proceed through to the round of 8 with a showdown on his agenda up against either B or MSN.